Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. In the pre-market this morning, stock index futures are down across the board, being led lower by the Dow. Now, yesterday was the last day of the month, last day of the quarter. It didn't start off on a good note, but it certainly ended more like we would expect to see a month end, quarter end. Now, what happened yesterday does not change anything on a short term or a long term basis. It's just usually what happens at month end. And now we're back to our regularly scheduled program coming into Tuesday's trading action. Now, we do have some economic numbers coming out later in the morning, but nothing in the pre-market on Tuesday morning. For the month of March, the S&P 500 was down 5.86%, only one dot down here, and we have not closed below the lower channel line. So we're still on a monthly buy signal here, but certainly we put in a lower high on March. That's also true for the NASDAQ. NASDAQ looking weaker. We've got two dots down here, down 7.72%, not enough to give us a sell signal. And then the TSX holding up fairly well, only down 1.87% for the month of March. Now, yesterday turned out to be a bullish reversal day. We certainly gapped lower at the start and came back strong going into the close. But what didn't happen is we did not close above the previous day's high in most cases. And that's what really would have been a big tell if that happened to, say, the NASDAQ 100 or the S&P 500 on Monday. Now, the NASDAQ 100 is still stuck to our price target of 468.75. We closed at 468.92. We're trying to break away from this level, and certainly it would be very bearish if we had started to take out yesterday's low. Looking at what really didn't work on Monday, semiconductors made a new low for this move, did not recover, and ended the day closing lower. So that's not a good sign for the market going forward. Moving on to the VIX had a pullback yesterday, still closing higher on the day and trading higher in the pre-market, so no change in trend there. The VIX is on a buy signal. That is bearish for stocks. Now, the Dow had a nice recovery yesterday, didn't close above the previous day's high, but it also didn't put in a new low, which you'll see that some of the other major indices did. Now, Walmart is back on a buy signal as of Monday's close. We're on a buy signal for Sherwin-Williams. Home Depot still on a buy signal, no change there. What didn't work on the Dow? Well, Boeing came down hard yesterday. It is back on a sell signal. We've got a new low for this move for Amazon, and we put in a new low for NVIDIA. NVIDIA didn't close below the March low. It tested trading just below it, so that is still holding. If that breaks, if we close below the early March low, that would certainly be bearish. And of course, we're going to be watching the $100 level for NVIDIA if it continues to move lower from here. Looking at the S&P 500, nice recovery. We did close positive on the day, but not above the previous day's high. Big reversal day for Discover. We're still on a buy signal for Live Nation, and we're still on a buy signal for Fox, having a nice day on Monday. What didn't work? Well, Moderna gapped lower yesterday, did not recover. There's a new low for Lululemon after gapping lower on Friday. And then we've got Charles River making a new low for this move. Then looking at the NASDAQ 100, certainly put in a new low yesterday for this move. Exelon was the big winner, followed by Copart, and then we had a big reversal in Intuit. Macabro Libre was the big loser of the day, followed by Zscaler, and then AppLovin did not make a new low for this move on Monday. Then looking at the TSX 60, we actually closed higher on the day, big open down and then recovered going into the close. Inside day for Tim Hortons on Monday. Then we had Intact Insurance making a new high for this move and a new high for Metro on Monday. What didn't work? Well, First Quantum was the big loser, followed by Tech, followed by Rogers. And Rogers trying to hold the previous low from early February. Looking at the TSX itself, again, we recovered and closed positive on the day. The big winner was Torex Gold, followed by Northwest. And then we had a nice inside day for K9 Mining, which had a new closing high on Monday. SSR Mining was the big loser, followed by Ivanhoe. And then we had Algoma Steel. Those were the big losers on the TSX on Monday. Okay, folks, that is all for today's presentation. Monday turned out to be a rather exciting day. The market gap lower, nice recovery going into the close. It was month end, it was quarter end. People came in to do some portfolio window dressing, but really nothing has changed on a short term or a long term basis to the positive. On the negative side, we put in lower lows yesterday, and the chip sector did not recover going into the close. So, we did, even though it was a positive day, it did show some negative cracks in the market that will probably be dealt with over the next few days. You have a great day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Wednesday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.